We will come to the launch of the app after we have introduced Dr. Clement here again. I need him to come up here so that he can speak about this wonderful initiative and how he came up with the idea and where we are and where we are going. A round of applause for Dr. Clement Obadimo.
A Mentors Tower is a place where mentors are also practically trained and equipped to handle issues of life, and a place where dreams are nurtured to realities. At the Mentors Tower, we guide, train, equip, release, and what? We pull up. And this is what our vision is all about. We guide people from friend. Friend is acronym here for failure, for rejection, for intimidation, for excuses, for negativity, and what? For disappointment. We guide you from those kind of situation to what? Fruitfulness. And all of us have passing through that situation. And I'm not going to go through this, just want to show. We also do mentoring, go back, mentoring matrix, where we do merge a mentor to a what? A mentee. In the app we are launching today, immediately you go to a mentor, we can merge it with what? A mentee. And you might be a mentor, mentoring somebody what? Abroad. Continue, and these are the major events that we do. Hang out with the mentors, we move from one place to another, identity crisis, continue, and partnering. When you're a mentor, the work is enormous. Anywhere you go and they say, we want to mentor people, you are changing people from zero to what? To hero. Once again, thank you, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
I would like to ask, if you had to have dinner with 3 people dead or alive, who would they be?
The first one is Jesus, because I like to know what the mystery of this whole life is about. And he's the one that has, he would probably tell it to me in a parable. And like what the Bible says, after that he goes to his disciples and he does what? He illustrates and explains what the parable is. The second person is Peter. How did Peter, an ordinary man, do all that? He was the only one that was confirmed, apart from Jesus, that he walked on water. As an ordinary man, how can it be that they saw him and they said, this one is Jesus? The third one is Paul. Paul, the Jews of all Jews. How? You see, there's some things that I need to know, because this world is not just what we see. And they have seen it. They have experienced it. They saw the prophets. They saw at the Mount of Configuration. And they said, let us dwell here. So I want to know the secrets of life. And no man can tell me the secrets of life except he who has the life. Thank you.
Building trust. For you to be accepted by your mentee as a mentor, you must build trust. And it takes some things to build trust. And one of those things are 1. Power dynamics, attachment styles, interpersonal communication, role expectation, and boundary setting. For one to trust you, the inherent imbalance of power between the mentor and mentee can influence their relationship, and effective mentoring requires careful navigation of these dynamics. That is, between the mentor and the mentee, there should not be power tussle. Let the mentor or the mentee know his boundary, and you know your boundary. You can't not all the time enforce on the mentee, and once he knows you do that to him, it or she trusts you the more. Attachment styles. An individual attachment styles, secure, anxious, avoidant, can impact how they engage in relationships, including mentoring. If they feel secure with you, they stay, and if not, they go. Role expectation. Clearly defined roles and expectations are essential for a productive mentoring relationship. There are challenges and opportunities in mentors-mentees relationship. We have over-reliance. We have also conflicts. We have personal issues. We have cross-cultural differences. But all this can be settled through open communication, active listening, clear goals, regular check-ins, and boundary settings. Trust building in mentoring relationships will give you the following: reliability, confidentiality, empathy, competence, vulnerability. And the strategies to achieve them are active listening, open communication, consistency, and showing vulnerability. I want to conclude by saying that mentor-mentee relationship is highly needed today if we will build a better nation in Nigeria. In any of the spheres of influence where we all are, let us seek to be mentors to those who are under us or higher, whom we can mentor in one way or the other, and also seek for those who mentor you as a mentee. There is nobody that has climbed a ladder without going through the shoulder of someone. You are here today because you met somebody, and you'll be somewhere tomorrow because somebody met you here. Thank you.
So what I'm really going to focus on today is the value of global mentors. These are the areas that I think are maybe the strongest arguments for a cross-cultural mentor relationship. The kind of innovation that you can have, better communication, growth as a person and as a professional, boost of performance for you and your company. And then maybe most important is promoting a culture of respect and belonging globally. So within your place of work, within your community, but then on a global scale, right? A little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Tara Nwoke. I've been in education for 15 years. My specialty is ESL teaching, so teaching English as a second language. Through my career, I've had 6 or more different mentors, and I have been a mentee for 15 or more teachers. I feel like anytime that you are entering a new workplace, even if it's a familiar field to you, you want to have a mentor. You want them to help you guide and navigate a new system. In fact, when I joined my current job, right now I work for Clover Park Technical College, and the teaching style is really different. So the first thing that I did was connect with the teachers that had been there to say, okay, what are the expectations here? And to get to know the student population, right? Every group of students needs something different. And if I want to be a good instructor, I'm going to pay attention to what those needs are. Before this position, I worked for an organization called ESL for Professionals, and this was a completely different field for me because the owner of the company, her focus was on English teaching, but it was also, she had a background in technical recruiting, so she was recruiting technical people with a strong emphasis on technology into high-paying roles in their society. And she knew a lot about business and a lot about sales. So I took that opportunity to say, what can I learn from you? I know nothing about sales, right? It's very rare that you have to sell yourself as an instructor. However, with getting to know her and kind of being her mentee, she got to show me a whole other way of looking at language learning, where she told me, how are we selling ourselves to our student? But also in any field, you can think about how you are selling yourself to your employer. How are you selling yourself to your customers, to your clients? How are you putting your best face forward? And so that was another opportunity to see a different culture, a different aspect of my own profession, and it's made me a better teacher. In every class, I'm thinking about how can I best sell myself to my students, and how can I meet the needs of my students. One of the favorite stories that she told me was about how if she wanted to sell pens, right? She might think about something that the students really cared about, or the people that she's selling to, what would be really important to them, and say, hey, I have this petition, I have this contract for you to sign that fits your goals. Do you need a pen? Oh, here's a pen. You just have to pay for this pen to sign this thing that you care about. So getting to people with what they care about, I think that's really important. So that was something that I learned from that relationship. And I will say that my job offers me a lot of opportunities to work cross-culturally. I have many students from different cultures. My profession has many teachers from different countries, different backgrounds, different cultures. And I am a much better rounded teacher when I incorporate the values of other cultures. And it helps me recognize in other students different cultural aspects of their lives. So as I said, my first point here is enhancing innovation and creativity. And I think that's one of the things, right? New technology is coming out all the time. And if you are not open to that, you hold yourself back, I think. So the more that you can communicate across cultures, the more you have this opportunity to become more efficient and grow your skill, right? Right now, the term is upskilling. Everybody wants to improve their skills. And having a mentor across cultures can really help you do that. Another thing that it can do is improve your communication and understanding. By nature, we know the culture that we grow up in, right? We know where we come from, we know what we have studied, but being exposed to different perspectives and different understandings of the world make us stronger. And they make us better salespeople, they make us better teachers, they make us better in engineering, right? What does the world need rather than my corner of the world? What does everybody need to grow? And I included the idea of communication styles here too, because even within our own culture, everybody has their own style of communication. And I think that part of becoming a strong mentor or mentee means that you start to recognize that people communicate differently, and people need different things. And I wanted to refer you to this book if you haven't read it already, Surrounded by Idiots. It talks about 4 types of human behavior and how to effectively communicate with each in business and in life. And I will say that I think there are communication styles outside of these 4, but I do think that it's useful in any work situation. I think another thing to keep in mind when we're talking about any mentor or mentee relationship is something called the growth mindset. If we take a look at these couple of sentences here, I'm too old to learn that now. I know the best way already that works for me, right? I already know. This would be a restrictive mindset, right? This is not allowing you to move forward in your profession or personally. Whereas if you start out with sentences like, it might take some work, but I'm sure I can figure it out. There's no limit to what I can learn or what I can achieve. Now you've opened yourself up to new ideas, new challenges, and you become a stronger candidate for new jobs, a stronger employee in your place of work. And you start to feel more fulfillment in yourself if you can open yourself up to new ideas, maybe in the situation of a cross-cultural mentorship. I added this GIF. Some of you might be familiar with Ted Lasso, but this character is explaining that this is how she creates her persona. Her work persona is this strong female, right? My point in showing this is that if you have this growth mindset, if you say, whatever I come across, I can learn it, I can do it, I am not an old dog, I can learn new tricks, what you tell yourself matters, because then that's what the world sees. If you project confidence, if you are willing to say, I don't know, but I will know, or that I can learn, the world sees you as a flexible candidate, as a flexible participant in the world. The next point I would cover is boosting organizational and individual performance. And this comes, kind of naturally. If you are here projecting your strongest self, because you have the confidence, seeing from a different perspective from your mentee or mentor relationship, you have confidence. And then your abilities at work increase. You have a wider view of the world. Your workplace in turn benefits from that. So when you come to work with new ideas, this could make us more efficient. We can take better care of our employees in this way. Now your whole work environment improves. Maybe you have a new idea of how to reach out, how to network with other companies, for example. And just continuing in a mentor relationship can allow you to see more, because you are already, as I said, in this growth mindset. Okay. Just a couple of more points here that I would like to add. Something that we are learning at the technical college level, but it certainly applies to any workplace, is that employees and employers who feel respected and feel like they belong in their workplace, those are happier and more productive employees. And how this connects is that if you are able to connect in a cross-cultural mentorship, you are now able to see another perspective, and it allows you to recognize and respect that perspective in your workplace. And we know that everyone comes from a different background. Everyone has different values. And so being able to respect and understand the struggles of another employee or another coworker automatically makes a better environment for yourself and for your coworkers. And if it becomes that accepting, belonging relationship environment, that allows for everybody in the company to grow, right? No one is going to want to speak up if they don't feel like they belong there. But if they feel valued in their company, they're gonna speak up. They're gonna add their piece. And I think that another giant benefit of getting to know people from other cultures and getting to know people in fields outside of your own is to realize that everybody has value. Everyone brings something to the table, whether it's someone who's been in their job for 50 years or someone who's been in their job for 2 months, right? Because there are new advancements in the field, and then there are tried and true things that have worked, for years and years. So I think we limit ourselves anytime that we don't take the time to realize that everyone has their strengths, and we can keep ourselves open to learning those strengths to become a more well-rounded person and a more well-rounded employee. Finally, I wanted to just kind of leave on this idea, on this note. Diverse minds equal kind of a united goal, right? We talked about how mentorship can benefit you personally, right? You grow in your strength and your confidence. It benefits you at work because you are bringing that confidence and that inspiration, that innovation into your role at your workplace. And then, of course, within your community would be the next step. But our goal, I think, as humans is to connect with each other. And this is really the beginning, right? Our world and the technology that we live in connects us globally with different countries, different cultures, different languages. And so we have to be open and ready for that to really be our best selves. So I'm going to leave it there and pass it along to the next speaker. I hope that I've added something to the conversation here. And it was a pleasure to connect. Thank you.
We have created a platform where people can then interact online so that from anywhere in the world, people are able to access people with a click of a button. So that's what we're now doing with the Mentors Tower app, both the web application and the mobile application. We're creating an avenue for interaction. So you are borderless, you are limitless. You can decide to mentor 1,000 people. You're not restricted to mentoring people in your city. You're not restricted to mentoring people that only know who you are. If you go to Google Chrome and type mentorstar.com, on the platform we already have our listed. If you scroll down, you will see the listed mentors, the ones that had submitted their details and all of that. These mentors will then be the ones that people will then book to speak to. So if you scroll down, you can say click to speak to a mentor. After the mission and vision, you will see request a video consultation. When you click to book now, it then opens up to a booking page, a calendar. So the calendar now is what anybody who wants to book a session with a mentor or a counselor, they can be able to book the calendar, and it will be linked to the backend admin to be able to log that in, and you will then be matched with a team member, to be a team faculty member from the mentors, to be able to speak with you over Zoom. We are all familiar with Zoom and how Zoom operates. So once that is done, it sends us a message that somebody has booked to speak to a mentor, and then they are able to then have that consultation to be done. Now, if you want to now say, I want to speak to a particular mentor, you have a request, you can then go to the page for mentors, where you view all the mentors, you select the mentor that you want to speak to, and then you will be able to speak to them. Depending on whether they have a free slot available, you would book. If they now have only paid slots, then you would then be requested to pay. And remember, the price is based on what the mentor has listed as their charge for a 30-minute session, a 1-hour session, or a 2-hour session, right? So we also have courses for the MentorStar platform. We know that sometimes it may be a little daunting to be able to say, okay, I want to speak to someone. Sometimes you may just feel, I may just want to know a little bit about this. Maybe if I can learn by myself, I will get clarity. That is where the courses come into play. So still mentorstar.com. So you're able to choose from different courses. So if you feel, okay, today I want to do one particular lesson, you can do one lesson. Tomorrow you come. If you still have time, you can say maybe by the weekend, but it's self-paced. The idea is that at whatever level anyone who is signing up is going to be engaging with the platform, whether on a free level, whether via the self-paced courses or directly speaking to mentors, there is an avenue for mentees to be able to increase their knowledge, increase their expertise, increase the kind of things that they are able to do because of the access to MentorStar. And so that is the beauty of this. Now, another thing that we have also been able to ensure that we will give to mentors is, like Doctor said, if you have an event, you can call on mentors and then they come to your event. So the mobile app is such that it's like a community. So a mentor, a verified mentor, can be able to create a group, and you can invite members of your community, and then you are able to have a place to mentor your people on the mobile app. So the app is like Facebook. You're able to create a post, put a picture, publish it, and people can leave comments. But if we look at the app, you can see apply to become a mentor, and it would take you to a form where you will fill the areas of specialty that you want to mentor people on. Welcome to MentorStar.